Welcome back to Good Day Dayton. Community involvement can help a business last. We spoke with a local full-service law firm that has been around downtown Dayton for about 100 years. We spoke to them about their community work and more. This following segment is sponsored by Pickrel, Schaeffer, and Ebeling. Today we are chatting with the president of Pickrel, Schaeffer, and Ebeling. It's a local law firm, and the president himself is joining us right now. Michael Sandner, a pleasure to be chatting with you today about the services your team provides and, of course, the role you play in the community. Before we dive into everything, how are you doing today, Mike?
Very well, thanks. Pleasure speaking with you.
We're happy to be here in one of your wonderful offices. We're right now in downtown Dayton. Let's just remind people about the community aspect of what you guys do. As I said, you're a law firm right now based in downtown Dayton. Talk to me about that on a community perspective when it comes to your work, but also your role in what you do supporting foundations and institutions. Why is that word community so important to the team here?
Well, you know, we're in an era where you've got more and more businesses leaving the downtown core. We're here. We've been here for over 100 years. We're staying here. And we like to evidence that commitment through our support of local organizations, whether it's the Art Institute, Dayton Performing Arts Alliance, and other institutions downtown, or on an individual level, since we go out so far in the community, getting our attorneys involved in different aspects of their own community, whether it's a local Rotary Club, charitable organization, Chamber of Commerce, anything like that, to really make sure we're giving back and doing our best.
Two really huge things you mentioned there. Of course, people love that you're involved in the community because, at least me, I love the arts, and it takes a lot of institutions like yours to help support our local arts. And also, I think it's a breath of fresh air for people at home to hear a business staying in downtown Dayton. That's something we always love to see. Now, that's your role in the community, but let's talk about what that looks like on a practical or business side. So, what would you say is your primary focus when it comes to law? I know you guys do so much, but what's the bread and butter?
Well, so we do so much, but we're what we would call a full-service firm. You know, as our tagline says, we're your law firm for life. And what does that mean for you as an individual or a small business? Is that, you know, most of our relationships begin with a discrete transaction. You have an entity that you want to form. You have an estate that you need to open. And throughout that relationship, we're able to introduce you to other practitioners and specialists within our firm who can help you do other things, because the law is not stagnant, business is not stagnant. You know, first you start a business, but then at some point in time, you're going to want to have a succession plan for that business. You're going to want to know how to bring in family or third parties, and we can help with that. We can help businesses, you know, as they're working through contract terms and conditions and purchase agreements, employment agreements with their employees. And all of these things are done by different individuals with the firm. So, you know, it's one of the most enjoyable things I think about practicing in this group is not just, you know, the relationship that I might form with a client or that someone else might form, but watching that relationship flourish through some of the other attorneys that we have
with
here.
your entire team. And one thing I want to make sure we understand, because if I'm hearing you right, I'll put it in my own words, you guys cover a lot of different aspects of law, but it's not because you're all generalists. You have a bunch of different specialists covering different unique aspects. Now, you talked about that a little bit from a business side. If a business owner is watching right now, I do want to talk about individuals or families here for a second. If somebody's watching and, you know, like I said, they're an individual or maybe they're part of a family and they have a legal issue, why is your team the right team for them to reach out to? What are some ways you can assist?
Well, so we can assist because of our breadth. I mean, there are a lot of people who do a lot of everything, and that's not really our focus. We pride ourselves on having that contact or relationship with a client who maybe you've been working with an estate plan, and then they indicate that they want to diversify and they want to get into acquiring real estate, for example. We can set them up with the LLC, we can prepare the leases, we can work that into an overall estate plan for passive income, and it's part of a comprehensive planning. That's a discrete example involving an individual and, you know, growing that business. And we do the same thing for businesses who want to expand, diversify, anything like that.
If I'm hearing you right, it sounds like you guys are willing to serve the community in whatever way the community needs to be served. If anybody's watching right now and they think this sounds like the right place for me, if I have a specific question or specific service in need, what is the best way for them to get in touch with you to start relationship?
So the best way, honestly, is probably either to call us. We still have a receptionist that will take calls and route those calls to the appropriate individuals. And of course, our website, www.pselaw.com. There is a link on that website where you can reach out with a general question that will get routed to the appropriate attorney who could respond, and we'll get back to you that way as well.
And I can confirm they really do still have a receptionist, not one of the AI ones like some places have. I got to meet the receptionist on my way in. Just another human touch for a community-oriented law firm right here in downtown Dayton. Mike, it was a pleasure to chat with you and learn all about your law firm. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Of course.